In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a seared ahi tuna po' boy topped with pickled red onions.
The main component of our po' boy is obviously the ahi tuna, which here I have already marinated it for 2 hours in a soy sauce, olive oil, orange juice marinade. I've actually made a video previous to this that lists all the ingredients on how to make the marinade, and I will reference that in the description of the video. But yes, we need to marinate our ahi tuna steaks for 2 hours in the marinade before we take tuna marinating for the next 2 hours. I went ahead and started my bread machine po' boy dough. Another video that I've previously made that I will link in the description so you can make your own at home. Here I have a whole red onion that I have sliced thinly and put into a mason jar. I'm going to pickle these red onions. These are going to elevate our po' boy and give it a nice tang as far as the toppings are concerned. I'm going to take some apple cider vinegar here to a saucepan with some water, some sugar, peppercorn salt. I'll break it down again in the description. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then turn the stovetop off and pour it over our onions here. And these will set up in the fridge for about 2 hours before they're ready to use as a topping. So I'm gonna show you how to make pickled red onions today.
Now to make our pickling solution, we're going to turn our stovetop up on a high heat. To that we're going to add 1 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, followed by a 1/2 cup of water, then followed by 3 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon of kosher salt. We're going to whisk this together, incorporate everything, bring it to a boil, and then turn it off and let it get down to room temperature before we add it to our mason jar. And as you see, it's reached the boiling stage. We're going to go ahead and turn the oven off and let it cool off.
All right, our pickling solution has cooled. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the jar with the sliced red onion and the peppercorn. I'm gonna put the top on, and then I'm gonna set this in the fridge again for 2 hours and let it do its pickling process.
The marinated tuna steaks are only going to need to be grilled for about 2 minutes on a very high heat on each side.
I've got the loaf of our homemade po' boy bread here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that open so we can put our layer of mayonnaise on there. I like to toast my bread in the oven. Went ahead and set it on a low broil setting. We're gonna slather our mayonnaise on, get this to open. And I'm also gonna layer it with some Pepperjack cheese. And like I said, low broil setting, goes into the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. I keep a close eye on it. I want it to be toasty but not burnt. And then we will start cutting up our seared tuna steak and layer it along with our pickled red onions. So about 6 minutes total. This is how the bread came out looking. Golden and beautiful. And I went ahead and sliced up the tuna steak as well, so we can start assembling our tuna steak sub. And now for our finished product. This is our seared ahi tuna po' boy. You can see here the finish on our tuna steak is a medium rare to medium, and then we topped it off with the pickled red onions, and it's on our toasted pepperjack bread.